I'm going to talk about how you can make yourself indispensable in a time of crisis. But before I do that, I'd like to talk about my favorite movie. And that, of course, is The Godfather. There's a classic scene in The Godfather when Michael is plotting his revenge against the other families. Michael Corleone, the son of Don Corleone, and he talks to his half-brother or his stepbrother, Tom Hagen, who is the concierge of The Godfather, that is the trusted advisor. And he says to him that he's no longer going to be the concierge because he is not a wartime concierge, he's a peacetime concierge. How do you like my Italian pronunciation, by the way? The point being that there are certain people who are fits at certain times in the life of a business and the circumstances surrounding that business. And I think that we can say without doubt that in the last 3 weeks, there has been a global shift of circumstances, and we have moved from peacetime to wartime, so to speak, with the coronavirus. And so there is a need for wartime concierges to step up and make themselves indispensable in a time of crisis. And how are you going to be able to do that in your construction company? The first thing you have to do is you must keep calm. Winston Churchill has a classic quote, "If you're going through hell, keep going." You must stay calm in a time of crisis. And there's a couple of practical ways that you can stay calm. First, you have to take care of yourself in terms of try your best to get as much sleep as possible. I know it's going to be tough working long hours, but get some sleep. Do your best to get a little bit of exercise every day to kind of blow off some steam, even if it's just going for a walk. And then don't self-medicate during times of crisis. In other words, don't drink too much during this time. Make sure that you're not clouding your judgment in that way. And that'll help you stay calm if you do those three things. Just eat moderately, exercise regularly, and get enough sleep. And then, as you're going into these meetings where you know things might get heated and decisions are going to be tough, make the commitment that you're going to be slow to speak, you're going to be quick to listen, and you're going to be slow to get angry. Do your best to stay calm in those meetings. Number 2, be a trusted advisor. And I'd like to make the emphasis on the word trust. In other words, you're going to be in these meetings and you're going to hear things and discuss things that are going to be pretty intense. They're going to affect people's lives. There may be decisions made in your organization in terms of who you're going to keep and who you have to let go. And so these are going to be tough decisions. You're going to see the best and the worst of people in this time of crisis. Be merciful to people in these meetings because at times they may overreact. Don't take those meetings and use them to finally judge the people that are in them. And don't take what you hear in those meetings and go gossip about them outside of the meeting that you're in. Rather, be a trusted advisor. Keep those discussions internal unless you decide as a team to take them externally. Okay? And then the last thing you can do is be a thoughtful contributor. At a time of crisis, ask yourself, how am I going to help add value and solve problems? Because the leader of your organization is looking for people who will come with solutions in a time of crisis. Very often in a military environment, what a commander will do is they will delegate a problem to one particular subordinate, and that subordinate will be responsible for putting together a plan and a presentation around that particular issue. Be the type of person raising your hand and offering to come to the table with plans for the issues that you're facing. Don't just sit there nodding your head, hoping that the leader's going to come up with good ideas and hoping for the best. In other words, be prepared and ready to make a contribution, because I promise you that in a time of crisis, the executive leadership in your organization is looking for people who will solve problems and add value. Don't just be overhead. And so this is a practical thing that you can do. Let's say it's Thursday, and you know on Monday there's going to be an executive meeting to discuss some serious issues. Make sure that you're understanding what some of those issues are going to be, and do your prep beforehand to come to the table with some alternative suggestions or some solutions. And don't just sit there nodding your head, like I said, hoping for the best. So we all know what happened with the Godfather movie, right? Michael Corleone became that trusted advisor, that consigliere to his father, and the family got through the crisis and were positioned afterwards in a place of strength and prominence and prosperity, relatively speaking. Now, I know we're talking about a gangster movie here, but we don't know how long this current crisis is that going to last that we're in at the moment. But we do know this. In a time of crisis, leadership is essential. And as you play an important role in your construction company, make yourself indispensable by keeping calm, being a trusted advisor, and offering those thoughtful alternative perspectives. In other words, look to solve problems and add value. I do wish you all the best as you go through this current situation. If you want to reach out to me via LinkedIn or my website and chat at any time, I'm available. Just shoot me a direct message. I'm happy to jump on the phone with you or exchange emails. I really appreciate you listening to this video here today, and feel free to share it with other folks. My name is Eric Anderton. Thank you very much.